Well, for the first half hour of this game, Ireland did a lot of good things. James Lowe, millimetres from the opening try of the game. And then, as happens out of not very much, the French pounced. Charles Olivan took advantage of great play and a poor read in the Irish defence. And just like that, half-time, Ireland 3, France 10. Ronan, a lot of good stuff from Ireland in that first half, and then the French pounce.
Yeah, Ireland had 56% possession. They made France concede 6 penalties and a yellow card. They suffocated and they squeezed them in the right areas of the pitch. Most annoyingly, France had one opportunity, and typical of world-class players, they turned it into 7 points. Weren't in the game, and then they showed their class, and now they're managing to get on top. Ireland most definitely had opportunities to further keep their foot in the throat, but they didn't do it. I think the entry back into the game in the second half may be around pressuring Doolan's left foot on kick exits, and also there needs to be a change of mindset on transition ball, i.e. when France give us the ball through an error or we manage to turn it over, we're staying at 2-1 paced. We need to really accelerate our game there.
OK. Matt, let's look at this French try then. It was brilliant.
Breathtaking. I know it's our opposition, but let's watch. Just keep your eye on number 9. It's great play. Fickou takes it forward. Here he is here. This is absolute genius. Runs, got his forward runners dummies, but gets the ball to back play, offload, and who takes it again? Dupont with a staggering pass. Now watch the speed of this delivery. Bang, it's gone. And that has taken out so many Irish defenders. And why are modern players on their try line, on the wing, shooting in? I cannot understand that. It just doesn't make sense. That's a man-on-man situation. Jamison Gibson Park stays out and Oliphant makes his tackle. They might get 5 metres, but they don't score a try. He comes in, takes Neville nobody, and they score a try. And we've seen it time and time again. It's not once. It's just a belief in the game that is a myth. And every time that you don't come up with a play, you will give away a try, as Ireland have just shown. Don't take anything away from the magnificence of that French play. That was some real genius we just witnessed. Yeah.
A point on strategy you noted from early on, actually, Owen, just to tell people about it at home. When Ireland have the ball, they're kicking for touch and they're backing their line out. French kick it and they keep it in play.
Yeah, I mean, the French, I suppose every week they're going to kick to keep it in play. The ball minutes will be high every week in their view. And as the season progresses, they'll be used to playing in those high minutes. I think Ireland's defensive line has been really good, which has helped that strategy. So Ireland have found grass or got a ball into touch and then really challenged the French line out. I think that was the first line out that France had won cleanly, and we saw the damage they did.
We did. James Lowe, almost. I mean, this is the decisive moment in that first half.
Yeah, I mean, good maul, you know, taken out at the right time by Gibson Park. Good pass, you know, everything done right here. You know, and also close. I think like a good winger goes for the line strong, you know, doesn't try anything like really, you know, hungry to finish and millimetres really, you know, I think his right foot, as we've seen before, comes in. But that was, look, Ireland were, you know, close to certainly an 8-point lead there, and they had played the game in the right areas. We had asked them, you know, not to run into brick walls, to be smart about when they played and when they didn't, and I think they'd done everything right up to that point. You know, France really flipped the switch, as Ronan said, when they got their chance, and like great players, they took it.
There's a sense, Ronan, France are warming to the task now, and they're in the mood, and they've got a lead. So what do Ireland need to do first 10, 15 of this second half?
I'll take you back a little bit, Joe. I'm not necessarily too sure with that. I just think there isn't a better example of how the game can be played when you look at that 30 seconds it took for France to construct their try. So at all times they try and keep the ball alive. So for people at home watching who have different views on how the game can be played, it doesn't have to be ruck obsessed. You can play the ball out of the tackle. You can see they're high risk, yeah, but it's high reward as well, obviously. And it isn't a dry day, so their skill levels are very, very good. Like for Fickou to pick up that ball off a bounce pass, it always causes confusion in the defence and his composure to offload. There's just different ways of playing the game, and I think it's important. I state that how Ireland will get back into the game in the next 15 minutes will be, I think they got to play it in the right area again, but Ireland are better suited, I think, when they have a structured game by having the lead. So what France will do now, they'll try and put the squeeze inversely on Ireland and they'll kick it long again. So it's going to be difficult, but at periods in that first half, Joe, I thought that Ireland looked far the superior team, so they need to just keep going mentally now, keep really going mentally.
OK, well, plenty of good stuff in that first half from Ireland, but a huge second half upcoming. France warming to the task. Next score crucial, second half on the way next.
Vodafone, the main sponsor of the Irish rugby team.
Gina D'Acampo, Fred Sirex and I are on a brand new culinary adventure across Mexico and the US of A.
It looks like you.
Back on the road, together again.
Road trip across America. We'll end up in jail.
Gordon, Gino and Fred's American Road Trip continues Tuesday at 9 on Virgin Media 1.
It was almost in. Listen, man, would you mind putting on your seatbelt? See this? Seatbelt! You want me to be putting on your seatbelt? Seatbelt? Listen, man, would you mind putting on your seatbelt?
Sure, not a problem.
Right, shall we go?
They say that Mendoza was once desolate and parched, until three winds combined to create life. Discover an epic origin. Discover Trivento.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. Just smile.
Now, how's that then?
Yeah, that's grand, yeah.
Why can't Irish people say when they're not happy with something? Like with their insurance, when they can just call Chill Insurance, who'll compare 14 different insurers to get you the best quote.
And the back.
Lovely.
State of you.
Chill Insurance. We'll take it from here.
At AIB, we've always backed your belief with a fair mortgage, which is why we've lowered our fixed rates even further and still offer some of the most competitive variable rates on the market. These new rates are available to you as a new or existing customer looking to move, buy your first home, or switch to AIB. Talk to our mortgage team today about our new lower fixed rates or visit AIB.ie. AIB. We back belief.
UEFA Europa League. Real Sociedad v Man United and Benfica v Arsenal. Thursday from 5:30. Live across Virgin Media Sport.
Vodafone, the main sponsor of the Irish rugby team.
Well, European football returns this week. We have every game live from the UEFA Champions League on Virgin Media Sport, including Barcelona against PSG and Porto Juventus on Virgin Media 2. Then on Thursday, you can watch every game from the Europa League. That's on Virgin Media Sport. Manchester United and Arsenal both in action on Virgin Media 2. Meanwhile, half-time at the Aviva Stadium, Ireland trail by 7. Matt, how have the halfbacks done? We talked about them a lot, obviously, pre-game.
They've attacked very competently, passed exceptionally well. Billy Burns has got his players, brought players into the game off him. Gibson Park's got nice, crisp service. Certainly you wouldn't say there's been errors.
Yeah.
Billy missed a pretty kickable kick, but that's not a huge negative against him because it's sort of cancelled out with the French. I think they've both been competent, Owen.
Yeah, I think we really wanted them not to run into a really strong French defence at the start, and they didn't. I thought they managed the game really well and put us in that great position where we nearly scored a try and went 8, possibly 10-0 up. So I think it's been a positive for Ireland overall. Trying to stop the offloads. I mean, there's a key stat there. France has 6 offloads. I mean, you know, you saw how devastating they were when Dupont made that offload, and it really stops Ireland's defence from getting set and allowed them to keep the momentum to score the try.
Oh, and I think the other thing Ireland have got to do, France are deliberately not kicking that ball out. We said that at half-time. They're keeping the ball in play, backing their chase line. Ireland have to deal with that better. Ireland are kicking back exactly as Ronan said they would, to kick back to them. But in that kicking duel, and we're seeing 3 and 4 kicks at a time, Ireland are coming off second best, and they've got to deal with that much more effectively.
OK, back to your commentary team. Shane Jennings, Alan Quinlan and Dave McIntyre.
Yes, thank you, guys. A lot to think about for Andy Farrell and his coaching side. In 21 years of Guinness Six Nations Championship Rugby, Ireland have never lost their opening 2 fixtures in a championship campaign. They need a big 40-odd minutes if they're to extend that run today. But these games are always close. There's been less than 12 between the sides, and 12 of the last 13 games, no side tends to run away with it when they meet. The only outlier, that World Cup meeting 6 years ago. Restart taken well by Stander.
Ireland, use it!
Lowe's kicked well today. That's not his best, though. And an early second-half line-out for France, a line-out that has been under pressure. Hopefully Ireland will be able to continue that in the second period.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's the best idea there to go back to James Lowe there. Stander, when he was tackled there from the kick-off, it was a very good kick-off from Jalibert, hung up in the air. He got knocked back pretty quickly.
Marchand finds his captain, Olivon. Jalibert for Aldrit. Dupont. Marchand breaks through the middle and he's heading for the try line. Lowe makes the tackle with a bit of help from Hugo Keenan. Dupont, well, that has come off and gone to ground.
22.
And Ireland have got out of jail.
No, got out of jail big time. What a carry from Marchand. Win the line out. Dupont takes a step. Gets through Van der Fleer and Herring. It's really poor from them.
Yeah, no worries. Just take time, Andrew.
Lowe
just
knocks in.
The kicker.
And you're thinking try straight away. France loads of numbers here. I think it's Bernard Leroux's head it hits, just overruns it. No, it's Willemse. Earls and Ringrose trying to scramble across. That's a massive let-off for Ireland. Would have been an absolute disaster for them so early in this second half.
And as you were speaking, Alan, all of the Ireland substitutes were warming up behind the Irish post. And a moment ago, Ross Byrne was beckoned back towards the Irish bench. There's an issue with Billy Burns, and Ross Byrne will shortly come on to win his 12th cap. So Burns leaves the field for a HIA. And in comes Ross Byrne. He'll come on for the last 11 minutes in Paris in October. He may get a little more game time here. And a very different style of fly half to the man he's just replaced, Alan.
Yeah, he's competent though and confident as well, so there's a lot of kicking so far in the first half, and I'm sure that part of his game will be very, very important again. Ireland falling off tackles again.
Carry from Aldrit, saw the ball spilled, and Ireland have done well to steal it.
Yeah, and Ruddock and Henderson are down. They both clashed. It doesn't look good here for either of them.
Hold on. Ian, stay down. Stay down.
Ian Henderson is in real bother.
Okay, Tommy, thanks, mate.
Well, we've got through the first half without any sort of an issue with head injuries. After what we saw in Cardiff last week, that was very welcome. But now, having just lost Billy Burns to a HIA, there are 2 more Irish players in trouble. Henderson and Healy, how unfortunate is that? So often you see a double tackle end up with that sort of a situation, Alan.
Yeah, it doesn't look good at all there. Aldrit breaking through the tackle. He's been brilliant for France so far. So powerful. It's all going wrong for Ireland at the moment. They got away with that. That opportunity that France had looked like they'd score there. Weathered the storm. Ireland got away with it, and now they've 2 players down injured, which can be very unsettling. I think both of them will have to go off.
Yeah, Hilton Delan and Ed Byrne, who was brought back into the matchday squad today, will be in as soon as Cian Healy and Ian Henderson are ready to leave the field. So a damaging opening 90 seconds or so from an Irish point of view.
Number 1 is a blood injury, fellas.
And we saw off that French line out when our seam at the back, Herring is defending off the tail of the line out and is linking up with Josh van der Flier. If that seam isn't strong, or if it's not kind of solid in terms of line speed, it's going to put that phase under pressure. And then the second phase, and you saw there was a mistake. But if France kind of get a sniff there, that's something that we need to watch, because Dupont will be looking for that. So early signs of something that we can certainly improve on. But it comes back to, if we can contest with the line out from the very set piece, it won't allow them to do that. So worrying times.
Yeah, and France are winning off the tail of the line-out chain. That's probably the key, and it's the hardest place to defend when you win clean ball off the tail like that. Jalibert spinning around. He was at the front of that line-out, and Marchand.
Everybody okay? Ça va?
And Aldred,
okay.
These guys running hard onto the ball then. It's very difficult to defend that.
And Gary Ringrose will now captain the side. Hilton Delan in for his first appearance since that Six Nations defeat in Paris at the end of October. Of course, a man who was French born into that Irish second row.
Bind.
So the second half really yet to get up and running. Gibson Park's put in. Stander for Ross Byrne. Ringrose. Lowe was indecisive as to whether or not he should be cutting back inside. He and Ringrose really weren't on the same page. And there's confusion between Wayne Barnes and Luke Pearce as well as to who should have the line out.
Yeah, it was a French hand that got in there, and I think he's trying to switch it here. It's Arthur Vincent's hand. He's given a knock on. Ball went forward, but I think it was Vincent's hand that got in there on Ringrose.
Je pense le dernier mêlée était bon.
He was part of the French under-20 side that was beaten by Ireland a couple of years ago.
Okay.
So an Irish side that went on to win the Grand Slam. Confirmation of those changes just running through on your screen. Ireland down so many bodies now between last weekend, Conor Murray's injury during the week, and now 3 more here.
Set. Stay in, stay in.
Very much delving deep into his squad. Andy Farrell. Dupont for Ficou. Tenno stabs one right down the middle. It may go all the way over. And James Lowe deals with it.
Not the best decision or execution from Penno. France trying to get him in off the wing there. He's a big, strong, elusive runner. Wasted a bit of possession there for France.
Okay, 10, let's go.
And the 15th time in 16 Six Nations game for France that they've scored the opening try of the games. The 8th game in a row they've done it. And it's that try converted by Jalibert which continues to separate these teams. Dupont for Penno. Preferred to Thomas today. Good tackle for his first contribution by Byrne. Marchand, who's already illustrated how effective a carrier of the ball he can be. Oh, glorious from Dupont. A little reverse pass around his body is a joy to behold. Jalibert, the French do have numbers now. It was a poor pass though, and it let Ireland off the hook by Arthur Vincent, rather shoveled in the direction of Brice Dulin.
Yeah, it's another let off there, and you can see the brilliance of Dupont here. So dangerous. Little inside pass. Takes 2 Irish players, and the offload there from Aldred to Hawass. This is sloppy from France.
Okay, let's bind up then, Ireland.
Just put it through the hands. Earls did well defensively. He put in that little bit of hesitancy. in that French back line. But again, it's an opportunity that they've blown again there, France. They had numbers out wide. Worrying times for Ireland.
I think Ireland's body language as well isn't great at the moment. We need men to step up here, and we need a bit of enthusiasm in voice more than anything else to try and get off the line and make those tackles, because we're falling off tackles and it's going to be a long second half if we continue this way.
Stand up. No, just a very small thing. Everyone's pre-engaged. Respect l'espace, s'il vous plaît. Non, bleu, ici.
Ireland,
allez.
To some extent, been kept in the game by France in these opening few minutes.
Quick reset, let's go.
And unlike the first half, Ireland not enjoying any possession or territory.
No pre-engage.
I think the effect of another French score would really dampen and take away any sort of confidence or belief for Ireland. But you know, Ireland have got to weather this storm a little bit, try and get up the field and get some sort of a score, settle things down, take the sting out of the French attack.
Byrne has skipped with Henshaw taking it up. Dupont warned off, engaging Gibson Park. What a height on that one, hurls beneath it. Villiers as well, and it's taken by Bernard Leroux. Marchand runs into Delan. A rare mistake from Dupont, who pops it straight into the chest of CJ Stander. Van der Fleer, back to Byrne. Now Henshaw for Keenan. He tried to keep the French defence guessing, Hugo Keenan. Tadhg Byrne has been less conspicuous today in his blue scrum cap, the Munster second row. Low for Ed Byrne. Ross Byrne. Ringrose, I'm not sure who his intended recipient was there, but it's gathered by Stander. Ireland really struggling to get any go-forward momentum. Working the short side on Ringrose, who has that dash about him and that ability to weave and duck under the tackles. Stander less so. Gibson Park for Ross Byrne. Spins away from Gélange. Now Henshaw for Lowe. Puts the boot behind it and finds a good touch in French territory, and first real chance in the second half for Ireland to maybe inflict some damage of their own.
That's a good kick from Lowe, right, but Ireland have to work incredibly hard there. Couple of little opportunities there. You think to try and get the ball into Ringrose's hands as much as possible, get him stepping, getting through the little bit of space. It's important and imperative for Ireland now that they stay down here, put pressure on this line out, not let France out easy.
Hey, wait.
Byrne went up very early. Gélange certainly verbally was trying to engage the referee and coax him into a decision. It's now for Antoine Dupont, if he wants it, that is.
Back we come. Ireland throwing the player across.
And Ireland infringing in that maul.
No advantage. Blue scrum hat thrown across the line.
And that's the easy out I'm talking about. It's just costly.
I understand.
You've got to be extra careful there. I know Tadhg Byrne goes up a little bit early. Porter just throws him across, just touches off Gélange as he's gone up. Very little contact in it, but there can't be any contact there.
Thanks, mate.
It's an area they certainly clamp down on. It'll be the left boot option of Brice Dulin. His first season at La Rochelle under the tutelage of Ronan O'Gara after 6 in Paris. Dulin. And he'll have a chance to go back at Ireland here now. Another rather aimless kick. But Dulin isn't kicking much better. And Ross Byrne doesn't gain much ground either. And that's a passage of play that both sets of players can probably forget about.
Very poor, terrible kick from James Lowe. So risky there, kicking cross field there. And thankfully Dulin kicked it and it wasn't a great kick. Ross Byrne slices it off the foot then as well. So that's poor from Ireland, that just giving the ball back to France like that, and it's an attacking opportunity again for them in the Irish half.
Well into double figures now in terms of the games
Hold 10,
that
Ireland.
Ireland have played under Andy
Ireland,
Farrell as head coach. We're always looking for the evolution in their attacking game. And we see some more of it in the next half an hour. That was a good steal from Ireland at the line-out. Ruddett must hold on here. Henshaw. Byrne at the back to Byrne, and now Ringrose looking to stab one through, getting Villiers turned, and Earls committed himself. Van der Fleer has got him though.
Careful.
Away by Antoine Dupont, spotted the space between Ross Byrne and the sideline. That might break the plane of the try line, and it does, and Ireland will have a dropout.
Yeah, it's a big gain for France though, isn't it? Dupont has been superb as well.
But just be careful, okay?
Really good kick, sensible kick upfield there.
Well, part of the head injuries, a largely uneventful opening 11 minutes of this second half. The game just seems to be meandering from phase to phase without any real pattern. And Ireland struggling to find a way into it. And Marchand was worried he was offside there, just avoided the situation. Over the top it goes from Gibson Park. Bounces nicely for Jalibert. Such a strong runner with the ball. Regular try scorer, Jalibert, from the fly half position for Bordeaux. 15 tries in 54 games for his club. Lowe calls for this one and takes. Well, I need to get in there in support of him.
Okay.
Rob Herring. Gibson Park for Byrne. Now Hugo Keenan and Ringrose. Earls had to reach for it, and he steadied himself quickly and showed there is a bit of spark when he gets those legs going.
Advantage.
And Ireland have coughed it up, and here come France on the counter. Strong carry from Cyril by Dupont, looking to set